Everybody likes a good mystery. So rolling your mind over the evidence in front of you, trying to anticipate how something will resolve. It's kind of like a riddle, but sometimes the riddle doesn't really seem fair, right? I think of Samson. Have you ever read in Judges where he says this riddle? Out of the eater came something to eat, and out of the strong came something sweet. I remember reading that and thinking, how on earth could anyone come up with that answer? And you can read the story to see how they did. Or maybe Tolkien, and you read about Bilbo Baggins and his riddle to Gollum. What is in my pocket? Like, what a jerk move, Bilbo. Nice. But it didn't really seem fair, did it? Or I think of Sherlock Holmes, the Robert Downey Jr. version, lesser of the two, respect to both Avengers, where it seems like you get to the end of it and watch how he replays how he figured this riddle, this mystery out, and you think there is no way humanly possible. It takes the fun out of it. How could anyone have identified those things to come up with the answer to this? So sometimes it feels it robs. It doesn't seem right that we don't even have a chance to figure this out. Now, the most important riddle, the greatest mystery, we could say, is the mystery of where did we all come from? Because from this mystery, how we answer it informs what we know about truth as a property, value, what anything's worth in this life, the purpose of anything in this life, the freedom, what it is, does it exist? How could we know it if it did? And morality, what is right and wrong? What is the basis for morality? And destiny, where are we all headed? All of this is fundamentally reliant upon the great mystery of where we came from. And this, you might look at it and say, like, this isn't a fair riddle, but I think that, and maybe this will be a later video, that this mystery is, there are clear evidences that give us good reason to be able to ascertain the God who made us, and so established each of these categories of truth, value, purpose, freedom, morality, and destiny. But I bring this up because 1 Chronicles 28:9, David is speaking to his son Solomon, and he charges him as he's I'm still reading as he is passing this kingdom over to his son Solomon, and is laying before him this great massive work of having to build the temple. I mean, how daunting! And he encourages him with this first and foremost: know God, know Him. Now, this isn't a knowledge, an answer to that mystery like 2 + 2 = 4, because I can know that 2 + 2 = 4, but I'm at some distance from it. It's not. I don't have a relationship with 4, right? It maybe changes how I navigate about my life, but there is no relationship with the number 4. But to know God, I both know what that means and navigate my life appropriately. But I also, in what David is calling him to do, is not just know about Him, know His law, and that he should fear the Lord, but to know Him personally. And from that foundation, he goes on to say, serve Him with a whole heart, a willing mind, seek Him. I'm not seeking the number 4, well, maybe through a math problem, but just to know an intellectual answer, but to seek to know and relationally God, and find Him. Do not forsake Him, or He'll reject you. To be strong, courageous, do not be dismayed. The Lord is with you. Relationally, know Him. Later on, I read in Colossians that Paul, how he lived, and the way that he lived, not just knowing something true about the world, but knowing the one that makes it true. He says, I do my share on behalf of His body, that's Jesus, the church, the body of Christ, to fill up in my body what is still lacking in regards to Christ's afflictions. What leads him to live the life that he did? That when he gives this litany of how he's been stoned and shipwrecked and all of these trials, and he goes on because of his relationship, not just what he knows, but who he knows, and he goes out and lives for him. He sums it up in this phrase, the mystery that is Christ in you, the hope of glory. That God's mystery revealed, himself. So then what are we to do with this relationship and the knowledge of him as these combine into a life fully lived for Christ? To sing songs, hymns, and spiritual songs, making much of Christ, this mystery revealed, lived out in a life fully devoted to him. One final reminder out of Proverbs, out of my reading today. Proverbs 7. And I looked and saw the naive, and I discerned among the youth a man lacking in sense. And among things that he observed this man, what he did as he turned aside and followed after unreason, the boisterous woman, this temptress, these temptations that pull at our hearts, that would divert us away from what is true and who is true, the answer to the mystery that brings our lives together rightly. Now therefore, he says, my sons, listen to me and pay attention to the words of my mouth. Do not let your heart turn aside to her ways, this temptation. Do not stray into her paths, for many are the victims she has cast down, and numerous are her slain. Her house is the way to Sheol, descending to the chambers of death. Of course, it's using this, it's talking specifically about the temptation of this woman and lust, but any of these things that pull us away from a life lived in devotion to Christ, that pull us away from knowing God, that fundamental first and most important mystery to reason through and answer with our lives, causes disarray in our lives, and ultimately ruins it from the purpose which God first desires for you and for me. Well, it's Text a Friend Tuesday, so be an encouragement to someone today, and I pray that you may be active in the sharing of your faith, and I will catch you all on the next video.